What's going on, guys? My name is Davey and welcome to this first awaited edition of Myth and Misconceptions about fat loss, where I'm going to be taking assumptions or just generally frequently said things in the dieting industry, and I will be trying to or prove or bust them. As usual, guys, you know that these videos take a lot of effort to make, so it would really be amazing if you could drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video, knowing that I just came back to Lebanon for holidays and my phone just broke. So getting the video up in time was a real challenge, but I think I managed to do it. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, make sure to drop a like. With no further ado, let's get to our first myth of the day. So the first myth that we're going to cover in this video is the myth that says that you can spot add or spot reduce fat. Okay, first of all, if you go onto YouTube and type belly, alcohol, arm fat, how to, you get a tons of results, as you guys can see right now. Okay, first of all, what is wrong with these people? Like, wherever you go, spot reducing fat is one of the most heard of subjects that you see people talk about, especially the ones who are going to try to lose fat fast. Okay, on paper this may sound legit, okay, because they think logically about it like, okay, I do train my arms to grow my arms in the gym, so if I do arm specific or arm targeted forms of cardio, I'm going to burn the fat in my arms. This may sound intuitive at first, but unfortunately, guys, this is not how our body works actually. Okay, our muscle fibers are active, metabolically active contractile tissue that can be broken down and repaired in specific areas, thus result in muscle growth, for example. But fat is the form that your body stores energy. So when you're doing cardio, or when you're burning energy, your body is burning fat from anywhere in its stores. Of course, genetics are going to play a major role on where you're storing your fat first or where you're losing your fat first. So when you're starting to lose weight or to add weight, you'll start to notice specific areas that become fatter faster. And this is due to genetics, as I said. So for men, it's gonna be the belly, the lower back, the chest. These areas are most common for men. For women, these are going to be the calves, the arms, or around the thighs, the glutes. So these are genetics. And also, guys, stop believing that X food or Y activity is going to target fat loss or fat gain in a place. This myth has been completely busted in this video. And please, guys, stop believing in it. Okay? Thank you. So the second myth that we're going to attack, guys, is the assumption that a high protein diet is like bad for your kidneys, hair, liver, everything. Like, let's put it out like that. A high protein diet is bad for your health. That's what we're gonna try to prove or disprove now. Okay, first of all, this one really frustrates me because I don't get the logic behind it. Okay, every day the normal individual consumes more than 400 grams of carbs and 100 grams of fat normally from different sources. I'm not saying that not, but these sources may be processed junk foods, processed foods, crap basically, but yet the fear is from protein. Don't eat protein, it's going to kill you. Like, why is that so? Protein is a macronutrient just like carbs and fats. So according to the Journal of Sports Nutrition, a study has shown that protein has no correlation with kidney malfunction, as they were feeding trained athletes over 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and they have seen that the high protein intake that they were inducing did not affect their kidneys. In addition, an article from the Journal of Nutrition points that dietary protein is important in the practical management of pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, as it helps control blood sugar. Finally, a high protein diet has proven benefits One of them would be a higher satiety, maintaining lean body mass, a better glycemic control, and in my opinion, this myth should be called busted because everyone knows that a high protein diet is not going to harm you guys. Just make sure not to cut out your fats and carbs while doing so, and just be consistent with it. So the third myth that we're going to discuss right now is the fact that weight loss can directly mean fat loss, or weight gain would directly mean fat gain. So what I mean by this, guys, is that if I told you that I could literally lose 3 kilograms by tomorrow, like, yes, I could do it. I could just go tonight on the scale, weigh at, I don't know, 68, 67-ish kilograms, and by tomorrow noon, I could weigh 64 kilograms. And I could literally do it. I'm not joking. And that's because the scale will only measure my actual weight, which is not my fat mass. What I would have done is I would have binged and drank all the water in the room before weighing myself, then go on the next day, dehydrated, fasted, and when I'll be weighing myself, I would have lost all that water weight or food retention in my body. So here's why I would have thought that I would have lost like 4 kilograms. Yes, I've dropped 8 pounds in a day, but it's just water weight in the end. What I mean by this, guys, and what I wanted to clarify, is that you should have realistic expectations when you're starting your diet. For example, everyone hopping in this negative energy balance, which is the caloric deficit we always preach in this channel, will experience some sudden drop in weight when they start dieting. This sudden drop in weight is not you making the magic in the world, guys. It's just water weight coming out of your body, because you're putting yourself in this deficit, which will induce more digestion through food. Okay? And another thing, here's why the scale is not the only way that you should evaluate your diet. You could also look at the mirror and say, am I looking bulkier? Am I looking stronger? Am I having more muscles? Am I looking dehydrated today? Am I holding to water? And while making this qualitative evaluation, if I want to say, you should also look at your weight to see if the two factors that you're seeing are corresponding to one another. Okay? In addition to that, understand, guys, then losing weight or gaining weight is not going to be a linear process. Even if you're eating at maintenance, you could have days where you're weighing at something and other days when you're just a pound heavier or a pound lighter. It could just be a cause of your hormones, because of the water levels in your body, or the stress. So I just needed to clarify this. I would not call this myth busted because, of course, weight gain or weight loss can be caused of fat gain or fat loss, but it's not always the case. Here's why we would say that the myth just needed some clarifications. So, the fourth and final myth that we're going to discuss in the video is the assumption that eating more or less meals is better for fat loss, as that it is better for your metabolism. Okay guys, first of all, calories in, calories out is all that matters. But Davey, you've talked in your first video on how the thermic effect of food affects calories out. Isn't the thermic effect of food affected by your meal frequency or something? And the answer for that is just nope, guys. The thermic effect of food is a percentage of the calories coming from the food that you're eating that is going to be burned through digestion. By that, we mean that if you're eating 1,000 calories of a specific food composed by a specific repartition of macronutrients, a percentage of these 1,000 calories, let's say 17%, are going to be burned through digestion. Here's why there are no magic fat burning foods, because there should be calories in the foods that you're consuming in order for them to have a thermic effect. Okay? Here's why we say that for fat loss, it all comes down to your personal preferences. if you're more comfortable with eating 1 meal a day, 2 meals, 3 meals, 1,000 meals a day, do what's sustainable and what makes you comfortable and makes you feel fuller. But for building muscle, which is another video, try to stick to 5 meals a day. For protein, and some of them I will not go with details because it's going to be a long video if I try to. But I need to say that this myth is busted because it really can create misconceptions and wrong ideas about certain foods like apple cider vinegar or ginger or I don't know. No foods are going to boost your metabolism, guys. The thermic effect is just a percentage of the calories of the foods that you're eating. So, yes. So, that was it for today's myth, guys. Okay, just before we get to the recap, because we can't end the video without a recap, I'm going to tell you that I have linked some studies in the description of the video, guys, that you might check out if you're interested in learning more about the thermic effect of food or about some myths that I've busted, just not to make the video a very long one. Okay, so to recap. The first myth is that you can spot reduce or add fat. So this myth was 100% busted in this video. Fat storage comes down to genetics, and the only way to lose fat is by being in an energy deficit. Our second myth of the video treated the assumption that a high protein diet is bad for your health. Well, this myth was also busted, seeing that no study relates protein intake to hair loss, liver problems, or kidney malfunction. On the other hand, it has many benefits to consume a high protein diet. The third myth treated the fact that weight loss automatically equates fat loss. And this assumption just needed to be clarified because it's not always true and nor totally false. So many factors influence your weight, but only a caloric deficit is going to ultimately make you lose fat. The final myth we treated in the video was related to meal frequency and metabolism, and we've come to the conclusion that they are simply not correlated. The thermic effect of food is a percentage of the calories you eat and depends on your macronutrient intake. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, share it to your friends. As always, I'll see you next time. It's been Davey with you, and until then, I'm out.